we wanted to get together to talk business.
Hello, and welcome to a live stream with Superstars Writing Seminars. And I'm honored to have in the virtual studios, the virtual Colorado Springs studios. And I'm not in Colorado Springs, and neither is Curtis. Curtis is across the pond. It's 7 p.m. where you are, right? Curtis from Bookvault.
Yes, it's well into the weekend here, but here I've got it.
That is the commitment.
The
yeah, the commitment that Bookvault has for authors well into the weekend, ready to do this. So, Curtis, thanks for joining me here today.
Thanks for having us.
So if you're watching live, feel free to ask questions in the comments as well. But so Curtis, just give us a bit of a background. So what is Bookvault? Is this a place where when I buy books, I can go and lock them up and keep them safe?
Not quite.
Oh,
so
no.
we like to say we're very similar to Ingram Spark and KDP, that we're a book printer, print-on-demand manufacturer. So we can sell into Amazon, similar to KDP. We can sell into bookshops and retailers, similar to Ingram. Obviously, we say Amazon are better, obviously, for KDP. Ingram do have a much wider network of retailers that they work with. Our sort of forte is, and what we're going towards really, is direct sales and anything sort of bespoke and really, I guess, high-end special edition books. That's the kind of niche we're going down towards. So things like Kickstarters. You know, we're just released our Bookvault bespoke options. Must be 2-3 weeks ago now, and yeah. Really seeing some beautiful books coming through our production facility.
So
how it works? Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
So we have a virtual portal online, so people, it's again similar to Ingram Spark. It's all managed, self-sustained on your own platform. So go and add your titles, edit them, and then you can place orders directly on the portal. You can link up to bookshops and retailers through the portal as well, and also connect up to your own website. So we have very easy to install apps on the likes of Shopify, Wix, WooCommerce, and we do have one in, I don't know if I can say it just yet, but we've got very close to a finalization on PayHip. There's just some final things we're doing on that, which just makes the process of connecting from your own website to Bookvault pretty much seamless.
So just to confirm, because this is something that authors are getting really interested in, is the selling direct isn't, they go to my website as an author, they purchase the book, then I get the book from you, and then I ship it to the customer. You actually have a direct plug-in for, as you said, WooCommerce, Shopify, and other sites that actually you guys take care of the drop shipping, right?
Yeah, so it takes the headache completely away from the author and puts the onus on us. So in terms of that, you'd have the app installed on whatever site you have, and we create all the shipping profiles. So that's something that we know that other providers don't do. The fact that you have to create all the different shipping. If you have hundreds of books, you need to know all the different weights, how much it's going to cost shipping here. We take care of all of that. So when you install the app, we have shipping profiles that get loaded up onto your store. Some of these, like WooCommerce, it's sort of kind of hidden in the background, but it happens on a order basis when it goes into your cart. But it sort of fills with, I think it's nearly 140,000 different shipping rates that we've got available currently.
Oh, wow.
So when one of your reader goes onto your website, they'll put the book into the cart, and they will then get live rates from Bookvault. So it will tell them how much it's going to ship direct to the consumer. So they will see exactly how much it's going to cost to them. So we know in the UK, there's obviously some remote islands off. I mean, probably similar to Alaska and Hawaii, where the shipping is astronomical compared. And we used to have sort of, in the old versions of the app, it was the UK, they've got their mainland pricing, which might be £3-4 or let's say $5 or so. But when you go to those remote islands, it's nearly triple, quadruple that. So there's having issues where they were undercharged. Whereas with our apps now, you never have to worry that you're going to be undercharged. You get paid, or you charge your customer exactly how much we charge you. So there's never going to be a bit of a discrepancy or a worry, I'm getting undercharged.
Oh, wow. So I remember when Joanna Penn was talking about how much she loved Bookvault. She had done, I think, one of her earlier Kickstarters for Pilgrimage, and had this beautiful, I mean, because I was one of the supporters, so I got this gorgeous book. I'll see if I can grab it and kind of wave it.
Somewhere amongst the...
it's somewhere over there off to the side, my signed copy. But it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it even came with the book what is it? The little what do you call it? The little bookmark that's built in.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
that might be her latest one.
Oh,
rather
maybe
than
that's right. That was
Pilgrimage.
Writing the Shadow that she had that.
Yes.
I don't think Pilgrimage had one of those, right?
Yeah, we weren't offering just then. But yeah, that's so again. Yeah, that was prior to some of our book, new more Bookvault bespoke launches, which yeah, we can go into that in a bit, I guess.
So I guess when Joe was first talking about it, I was like, okay, great, but it wasn't available for us here in North America, but that's changed, right?
Yeah, so there is some limitation. We found that obviously we started working with a US printer. I want to say almost the dates have gone fuzzy. Must
Right.
have almost been a year ago now. And that again, I think when we started looking for a US printer, we were looking for somebody who's going to be able to do exactly the same as us. You know, all the different quirky things, all the different flexible sizes, which we weren't quite able to get. So we have the plans to start with obviously working with a different multitude of printers. Obviously, we're working with BTPS in Ohio, that's Baker Taylor Publishing Services.
Okay.
So they are offering paperback and hardbacks for us, and they're done in your standard cream paper, standard white paper, and that just gives us access into the US market,
Right.
which we were lacking beforehand, and everything was having to get shipped from the UK. In terms of the more bespoke products, that is something that we're at the moment just facilitating from the UK. But because we do ship a lot into the US, we do get really, I guess, preferential rates where it's only
Right.
$1.50 more. Yeah.
So I guess currently right now with the bespoke and the really fancy high-end stuff, sometimes the partner you have in the US may not have the facilities to do what you're able to do in the UK, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's the biggest factor. Is obviously these are all going to be direct sales, so it's not bookshops and retailers. So it will be your diehard fans who are coming onto your website. So it's one of those that if you just have that conversation with, or make it visible to them that it's going to be it's handcrafted, it's it's going to be a
Right.
special edition. They can be a bit I guess aware that it's going to take a little bit longer. I
Right.
guess if you're just quite upfront about that in the beginning, yeah, makes all the difference.
And that may be I'm thinking about logistics wise as an author. So for a regular edition of my book, that's probably not an issue, standard white paper, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe that's for those really high-end special editions that are obviously for your core customers, that may not be the ones that are default on your website, but maybe it sounds more like with a Kickstarter, I have the opportunity to plan ahead and get those copies in time because I've planned long in advance. Unlike a standard, customers are used to print on demand. I order it and I get it within a few days, etc. So maybe those high end products are probably something authors should think about logistically a little bit differently, at least until. I mean, except if they're in the UK, then the customers are they're gonna get their stuff turned around really quickly.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely right on that. The paperback and hardback, pretty much anything that you'd see standard with the likes of Ingram Spark and KDP, yeah, we're able to do that in America now.
Yeah.
The good thing about the partner we're working with, obviously, we didn't want to go through the, I guess, already outstanding Ingram print network, so we don't use any of their printers or KDPs for that matter. We have BTPS, who, again, they're similar to us, that they pride themselves on quality. So in terms of their color print that they do, obviously we've had great feedback on that, and some of the books we've seen sort of coming from their facility is great. And similar to us itself as well. And again, that's something, I guess, slightly into the bespoke factor is we've seen a lot of people with Kickstarters have fancy editions where they have a full color splash like chapter page, which really gets the reader's eye and things like that. We charge it's on a split color basis. So if you have maybe 10 pages of color, or if you have some map page at the start or the back of the book, we would only charge for those color pages. So it can really change a different pricing model from when you're used to Ingram or KDP. As soon as you introduce color, the whole thing's color. It's nearly triple.
Oh yeah.
Triple the price, and it's just really not feasible. Whereas with ours, we charge by the page basis, so it does really make actually adding a little bit of color here and there into the book really, really affordable, and does give that sort of wow factor for fans.
Well, I love that because you're only paying for the pages that are printed in color, extra for the pages that are printed in color. Okay, cool. So there's a question. I don't know if you see it in the comments. I can pop it up from Carol, and it may be related to what we talked about earlier. But I'll pop it up here and I'll read it. So looking for more information on how the integration of direct sales are going in the US, which I guess we started to talk about. So several months ago, I heard about issues with not being able to track purchases and taking extended time. Now, is that potentially related to the bespoke and the different printing?
That was so actually from our US printer, they went through an onboarding process.
Okay.
And there's always going to be some niggles and teething issues when you make sort of some kind of connection like that. At that point, I think it was going into the peak period, which I think it was October, November, and the printer we're working with has actually gone through quite a big change from actually
Right.
beforehand. They used to focus a lot on the long print runs and lithographic things like, really long print runs. Whereas now they've completely shifted their focus and they're actually going towards POD basis. So from obviously how we used to be treated as customers, like being sort of one of their top clients because the amount of volume we're sending through our authors. They've since I say the last few months they've been really on it that we're some orders in dispatched within 2 working days, 3 working days, and that's paid back and some hardbacks. So yeah, we know there was definitely some issues
Right.
when that first process came aboard. And yeah, towards the end of I'm going to say September through to October time, it was a difficult time with them. And yeah, it's a learning thing. We did go through that time.
Yeah, of course.
To be fair, I mean, I work a lot in the customer service team, and yeah, that was a painful time. I'll be honest.
I'm sure it was.
But now actually, we rarely have any issues with the sort of delays and things like that. So yeah, I'd say if you did have some issues with Imparcel or heard about those, I'd say give them another shot. Now we're seeing a lot better from their side.
Well, I guess, and that's the challenge, right? Any new technology or when you, as a creative person or an author, when you're working with the latest, hottest new technology and you're a pioneer, oftentimes you're not necessarily in a beta, but you're in a very new atmosphere with a new printer and a new partner. There's going to be some growing pains, probably. So, and Carol says, in response to that, says, thank you. I'll be checking you out for my direct sales. Like now that those early phases, the growing pains, etc. And then Julia just left a comment here as well. Says, "Wow, paying for only the color pages is a great option," and I fully agree with that one. So, you've got I love the connection. So I can just have a connection for people who want to purchase the print on demand direct from me, and you'll just drop ship them, and so the shipping rates show up for the customer when they're ordering it, depending on where in the world they are, depending on, of course, what version of the book. But so let's talk about, because us authors get really excited when it comes to the fancy things you can do. So some of the fancy things are, if I have color, let's say a few pages of color illustrations, etc., I'm only paying extra for those pages, not for the whole book. But what are some of the other features that you've seen authors using for those special editions?
Yeah, so I have got a book here ready, brought along.
Okay.
So we do something that we've launched with our bespoke products about 2 weeks ago now so I'm going to try and hold this so that the camera picks up. So we're actually doing, you can see the foiling on there. That actually,
okay.
So we're going to be able to foil it on the dust jackets and actually the physical.
Oh, and it's right on the case. Okay. Wow.
Yep. And also, hopefully, again, you can see that sort of a printed end pages. So as you open a hardback book, you've actually got printed on the side. I'm going to show again. We've got bookmark ribbons.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
There you go. And sort of some head and tail bands to give it sort of the effect of a sort of sewn bind book. So again, just a few things to add sort of a bit more complexity into the book. And I guess for those die-hard fans who sort of want to show it off and get it on their bookshelf, show that special edition off.
So when an author goes on the website and sets up their account with at bookvault.app, and I'll pop that up here so people can see it at bookvault.app. They can go up, they can set up, and then when I put in my specifications like trim size and page count and whatever, then when I pick, can I kind of take a look and go, okay, if I add this, if I add the ribbon, if I add the gold foil, if I add the dust jacket, etc., I imagine it gives me a different sort of quote depending on what I'm adding to it.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, you can do different ways. Like if you haven't got an account with Bookvault, you can simply go onto our quote tool, fill in all the specifications, and on the last section, it's got a bespoke option where you can add all of these new fancy products, and then it will obviously allow you to get a price on that. Or if you've got a title yourself, add a new title and go through. Again, it's a very similar process. Just going through a selection of options, the bespoke products, and it'll give you a price at the end of it. So, yeah, we don't like to sort of disclose our price. We'll have to. I know that a lot of people are again sort of giving their email away and then having to be spammed with things. So yeah, we like to make it very upfront that here's the price. If you want to come to Bookvault, then great. If you don't, then Okay.
Oh, I love that. And again, and again, it's hard to say the quotes because you don't know like you and I talking right now, we don't know what a trim size is. We don't know what the page count is. We don't know how many pages are going to be in color. We don't know, et cetera. Right. So hard
Yeah.
to give
So
a quote. Yeah.
in fairness, for the bespoke options, it's quite simple. But I guess I think I'm aware of the price that we've added. So bookmark ribbons, I believe they're 50p. The ribbons and there's head and tail bands again 50. So I'm talking UK because obviously we're only available for the UK.
We'll have to translate to American dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's all good. It's all good.
And then the foiling options, we've got jackets and PPC, which are £3, and for the paperbacks £2.50. So it's a small increase to your book, but again, it's something that you're able to charge, increase the RRP by quite some amount. Again, we've seen a lot of Kickstarters that have been done through this and adding the bespoke options. I'm not how familiar you are with Sacha Black or Ruby.
Oh yeah, I've seen what Sasha
did. Done her Kickstarter, and that was, I guess, our beta testing. Or she put all the bells and everything we're going to offer. She's like, yep, let's put those all on. So that one, again, there's some that I'm not sure the RRP of a standard book, but there were some packages on our Kickstarter that were selling upwards of £80, or that's in dollars, and plus on that. So yeah, again, it's just a little bit of extra cost that we're charging can obviously, for your super fans who are going to be paying for that, can really make a difference.
Wow, that is amazing. Just some comments from Julia with beautiful options, and Carol as well, denoting the beautiful options and that are available. So I want to go back to something. So let's say an author is already using KDP Print, potentially already using Ingram Spark to get their print book out there into the world. How compatible is it if I already have a book that's available that way with using Bookvault? Like, do I have choices and options so I maybe only use it for direct, or can I use a combination of direct and just distribution?
Yeah, so that's something that we highly recommend. Is don't sort of channel your things. Oh, I'm just going to use Amazon KDP. I'm just going to use Ingram. Yeah, we recommend to everybody, use who's best for what you're trying to do. So yeah, absolutely, we can sort of work and coincide with them. So if you're selling already on KDP and you've got an Ingram Spark account, yeah, by all means, you can create a Bookvault account, and we can also sell on Amazon. So if you're wanting to have your Amazon sales be available through us and we're able to print them, then if you want high quality compared to the likes of Amazon or Ingram, then yeah, we can sell on Amazon. Obviously, bookshops and retailers that at the moment, because we're more limited to the UK, but it's something we're looking at with our US printer to allow for bookshop and retailer orders in America and fulfill from America.
Right.
But yeah, there's no issue with you obviously using the other two printers and using us just for direct sales.
Right. Okay, and just to clarify, you're not handling the sales. The tie-in to your site is my direct sale platform that I've already built, like Shopify, for example, or WooCommerce or whatever. And you said you're working on PayHip that's coming up potentially in the next month or two. Who knows? If someone's watching this in a couple months, maybe it's already live. So that's me taking the payment, but then what's happening is you're fulfilling the order, and there's the tie-in for the shipping and stuff like that. And then what I'm doing is I'm just paying you for the service of printing and shipping the book, right?
Yeah. So in that instance, I always like to say that when you sell a book on Amazon, they're not your customer. They're an Amazon customer who's bought your product.
Right.
And that's the same for any bookshop and retailer. They're not your customer. You don't know who's bought that. You don't have an email address. You don't know who's bought your book. Whereas when you've actually sold on your website, you've got an email. Again, you can remarket into that same email. You got next. They bought this book of the series. Okay, well, they may be interested in 2, 3, 4, the whole lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. You know who's actually buying your book, which again, that's valuable in itself compared to actually the likes of Amazon not having a clue who's buying it. So yeah, you're right on that. That you would be the it's your own brand. It's your customer. So any sort of customer service, or they will contact you. They will also pay you. So in comparison to bookshop and retailer orders and Amazon, where you have to wait usually, I think it's 90 days, I want to say, usually for payments and royalties.
Right.
You get that money from, I think Shopify usually pays out, I think, within 48 hours.
Yeah, usually 48 hours.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the date. So obviously you get the money up front, and then in the background, obviously that order goes from your store into Bookvault. And then obviously we will charge yourself for the print and the shipping. So I know things like if you have a payment, you can save a payment card on Bookvault just to completely automate that process so that it will just go straight into production. But yeah, so you have your kind of pot of money that you get paid from Shopify, and then we obviously have to be paid for the print and shipping. So again, it just puts you in control of your funds a lot quicker than if you're selling through bookshops and retailers. Like another reason to sell direct.
Yeah, well, I mean, I mean, having access to the customer directly is critical, because then there's follow up with the customer, and you know who they are, and so you know who's buying what, as opposed to, I mean, with Amazon or Ingram Spark as well. I sold a book in the U.S. Great. Okay, wonderful. Oh, I sold one in the UK. Okay, great. I mean, that's all you know. You don't know anything about the customer. So I really love that. So what are some of the questions that maybe you were asked by folks at Superstars that you feel would be useful for people to know, or potentially questions that authors ask you on an ongoing basis?
Oof, that's a good one. I guess I can give some advice what we always recommend. So
Yeah.
I guess something with especially things like Kickstarters and things like that is we recommend all the time to get a proof or get a single copy done first. Just seen a few times with Kickstarters that you're sort of promoting this thing that's coming up, and if you haven't had a proof or actually seen what we're doing, or sort of just first off, if your files are correct, if you've embedded fonts, if you've made sure there's bleed, things like that. So that's something that, again, as some of some of us don't know about embedded fonts, things like that, or the standard that a PDF needs to be. So I guess having that research about it and knowing either what you're doing or make sure that you get a copy done first is sort of
Yeah, so that you're recommending potentially, just to make sure you're comfortable and you know what the product is, ordering one of those in advance early, potentially, because then even you can hold it up like, hey, Kickstarter people,
exactly.
you'll
Do
get
some extra marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. And but then you know exactly what they're getting too, so there's less guesswork.
Yeah, exactly that. And like I say, you don't want to again, you've got obviously your lead times with Kickstarter and things like that you've got to sort of achieve or work to. And yeah, obviously if you realize you get some books and puts a spanner in the works. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So another question just popped up. I'll bring this up from Julia. Julia says, this might be an odd question, but can you sell direct with Bookvault and have your books on Amazon? I guess directly through KDP print.
Yeah, so again, with Bookvault, you can either have the option to sell with us or completely not. So you can use KDP just to sell on Amazon exclusively, and then use us just for direct sales and nothing else. So when you add your book to the Bookvault platform itself, when you upload the files, and that's it. So we don't sort of on the go sort of have to start passing it everywhere. It stays within our portal until you sort of tell us what to do with it. So you can either tell us to start selling on Amazon, or you can tell us to, okay, here's my bookshop, I want to connect up to that and start going through those processes. So yeah, you're in control of, okay, I want it here, I don't want it there, I just want to do direct sales with Bookvault, I want to do my special bespoke options with us. So yeah, you're in control of that.
Wow, that is so cool. I'm curious, I guess, what are the most common things? So Julia says, thank you for answering that question. What are the most common bespoke items that people are adding that allow them to get that extra value and charge for those extra special editions? Is it often the foil? Like, what are some of those bells and whistles?
Yeah, so since we've launched and obviously been having our own print facility, obviously I can go downstairs and have a little look and see what's coming through. And since we've launched it, we've seen some pretty beautiful books coming across with some really fancy design. So far, I think the foiling is the one that sort of wins it for me. The designs that people are putting out on there is really great. Some printed end papers as well. We've seen some really good, as you open the casebound book, sort of some character sort of illustration looking really good, or sort of maps, or sort of to give a bit more credibility or more information about the book. So yeah, that's what we're seeing. I'd say the fan favorite at the moment is the foiling and the end papers.
Awesome. So that is cool. Yeah, because I'm thinking about there's probably at least 3 different books that I have gotten as a Kickstarter supporter that I know Bookshop has created. So I already have some samples. Like, I already know what, Writing the Shadow by Joe Penn, just how gorgeous that is. And with the darkness as well. Because I'm pretty sure that what did you call it? The front pages? So when you first open the hardcover, like there's actually
the end papers.
The end pages. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So we have another question from Carol. This is lots of text, so it may hide us when I pop it up on the screen, but there we go. We'll peek over it. So it says, in regards to direct sales, I use Wix, and then when I get the order, I go into KDP and order the book and ship, like to drop ship to the customer. One of the things my Wix store allows me to do is if order a limited time coupon code for specific books or categories. Can I do coupons through Bookvault direct sales, or do I have to adjust the price? As I move along.
Yeah, so in terms of that, you should be able to just run Wix. So if you install the Bookvault app, you would connect Wix up to Bookvault, and then when an order happens on your website, it'll come directly through to Bookvault. So things like the prices of it, the discounts, you should be able to do that all through Wix, and then we're pretty much just getting it on the back end when an order's placed, and then it comes through to us. So yeah, that shouldn't be
Right.
an issue.
So the cool thing in that is that right now what Carol's doing is the order comes in manually. It comes through Wix. She gets the payment for it. Then she manually goes over into KDP or author copy and then drop ship. And I've done that in the past to fulfill print orders as well. But what happens is with the tie-in, because you do have a tie-in for Wix, that when the customer goes to Carol's website, places the order, that connection happens. So Carol can sit back with her feet up on the desk and drink coffee and watch the money come in and not have to manually go do that work. I mean, that's one of the things I think is just, it's somewhat not understated at how much time that can save an author.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what even a whole business model is about, automation. Our whole print facility, sort of years and every year goes by, we sort of try and, okay, who can make redundant? What job can we sort of simplify and automate? So obviously I've been at the company nearly 10 years now, and actually seeing sort of the advancements and things that we've done throughout the production facility. So we used to have, say for example, when we do our hardbacks, we used to have a whole team of about 6-7 people just day in, day out creating cases. And I've got a
Right.
machine, it's all automated, all done by barcodes that, again, a machine can do 60 in a minute that a person can do 60 an hour. So
Wow.
it really just changed that things, and that's our whole mindset. So, and even from the production side and the, I guess, customer service side and the systems, we like to see everything automated. So the minimal touch points that you need to do. So even if you're going from KDP and or placing your order through Wix to KDP, you might get the address wrong. You might send it to the wrong number or the wrong thing. Whereas if it's all done by system or automated, yeah, there might still be a small bug or things like that, but on the whole, it should just come through with no issue. And again, yeah, you can go enjoy your coffee.
Okay. So let's go back to some of the basics, some of the book formats. So what are the trim? Well, I know the trim sizes are going to vary, but what are the formats? So you've got like trade paperback, you've got case bound, you've got hardcover with dust jacket. Are there other trim sizes, other formats that we haven't really talked about yet?
Yeah, so from the US at the moment, we're just able to do trade paperback and trade hardback, or what we call as a printed paper case or PPC case.
Case bound.
There's so many different terminology for it.
Right.
Whereas from the UK, we have the case bound with a cloth, so it has a textured cover, and we have sort of a few different variations on that. Again, you can go on a quote tool and see kind of a bit of a visualization of what they look like.
Right.
So again, from the UK, we also have a saddle stitch. So that's like kind of your brochure, a pamphlet. So it's pretty much stapled along the spine. Yeah, so there's that. Again, it's probably for your small children's books, things like that we're able to do.
Right.
And then as well as that, we have wire and spiral. So again, that's
Okay.
really good for journals, notepads, I guess accompanying or companion books.
Cookbooks and things like
cookbooks. Okay. If anything that really you want to lay flat or
Okay, and that's those are those really high-end specialty formats are coming from the UK, but the more generic ones like the trade paperback and the simple hardcover are available with your other partner printers in other regions.
Yeah, that's right. So with the paperback and hardback, that's currently available from the US as well. We are working with another US printer that we're hoping to offer both spiral and I believe wire bound into the US again. So again, direct sales or order place a manual in the portal. If it's going to America, we can fulfill that from America and send it to America.
Awesome. And I know we discussed this before, so don't worry, we're not going to say anything about it specifically live, but this video is available for anyone in the world to watch because just that's how awesome Superstars is. But one of the things you're providing is you're providing a code that I'm going to be dropping in the Superstars writing seminars private group only for Superstars members who have attended any of the sessions, not just the one that you were at. And so that there will be a special coupon code for Superstar alumni to use as well. So, any indication of what that code is going to get them?
Yes. So in terms of Bookvault, when you add a title to the platform, there is a title setup fee. Obviously, when we first, so I'll sort of run it back a few sort of years to when we started.
Course, yeah.
So nearly 10 years ago, we started. We've been running the Bookvault brand. It was sort of under our umbrella brand, which is Print on Demand Worldwide. But we had the Bookvault system, which was sort of all tailored off to large publishers or small medium publishers that we were working with. And we never had title setup fees. And then nearly 2 years ago, when we rebranded, we sort of had a title setup fee because we didn't have a title setup fee. Anybody could get signed up onto the platform pretty much just online, whereas beforehand they had to go through some kind of verification or some kind of vetting process. Whereas we found I think it's the first week, we had one client go onto the platform, get signed up, and they uploaded nearly 10,000, 20,000 books, just of really low content, sort of pictures of kittens with Sudokus, words, it was one of those that they just uploaded as much content as they could onto Amazon, onto their own website, onto our own store, and we quite quickly thought, okay, we need to put something in place to stop that. So we didn't.
I mean, well, because there's a cost, right? There is a cost to setting all that stuff up on your end, right?
Yeah, so it's even things like your, I guess, file storage. It's kind of the knock-on effect as well, because this person is just uploading loads of content. Again, other people who are serious about selling, it could sort of deter from them and would take a little bit of time out of theirs. So we put this in place. But for anybody who's in sort of, groups as such, or sort of some author groups, we often have sort of promo codes to completely eliminate that. So that's what it'll be, so that you can add as many titles as you want to Bookvault with.
Awesome. Cool. And thank you on behalf of the Superstars tribe. I want to thank you for that. And I'll be dropping that after we end the video. I'll drop it in the comments over in the Superstars in the main group as well, the private group, just for tribe members. Well, Curtis, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your evening to share some of this with us. And are there any potential things? You mentioned that you're looking at a PayHip integration. Are there any other things that you're able to talk about that you're working on?
Well, I don't know how much I can talk about right now. One thing that I think we did sort of mention at the Superstars Writing Conference back, it doesn't seem that long ago, back in, was it February now?
February, yeah.
Yeah, so one thing is we'll be doing sprayed edges. So come July, we'll have a
sprayed edges in July. Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll have a sprayed edge machine that obviously will be able to do the sprayed edges on, and again, a single book copy. So yeah, you can have. Sorry, colleague jumping there. Sorry, into the chat. Yeah. So we've got
and look, somebody's peeping up in the comments here.
That's
Alex Smith, right? Yeah. He says we have special foiling coming soon. Yeah, special foiling, like you're going to foil my plans, or a different kind of foil?
So a bit of an advancement. So with this new foiling that we're doing currently, we've seen sort of some limitations, or we've already had our eyes on a new machine. It will make things a lot better. That it's completely automated, whereas at the moment it's a bit more manual. It's one of those chicken and egg scenario. We saw again. It's about making an investment and seeing the kind of expected volume out of it. So we're currently doing a very manual process with, let's say, an okay machine. But we've got our eyes set on one that we've kind of been in talks with a supplier.
Excellent.
Who will be, and it does some things like, so it'll be able to do spot UV, so actually able to do that on a POD basis. And actually as well with your foiling, it'll be able to sort of actually attach, rather than just at the moment, it's just an overlay. Actually have a bit of texture, so it'll actually lift off the page. So the other things we do, sprayed edges I mentioned, and as well as that, there's one thing hopefully Alex can help. So sprayed edges and the foiling is sort of big things that will be coming to the platform.
That's awesome. That is fantastic. So a little thank you from Carol. Great information, very appreciated. And I want to say thank you very much, both for coming to Superstars this last February. It was great to see you guys, and I'm sure you got a chance to talk with some amazing authors. And thanks for taking the time here. So people can go find out more about Bookvault's your website, bookvault.app.
Yeah. So like I said, we do have, you can feel free to pop a ticket, an email, and something we do offer as well is a video call support. So you can actually book in a meeting with one of the team and we go through, I guess, any questions you have rather than sort of doing back and forth emails. Just have a quick 10-15 minute chat and just answer any questions you may have about the platform.
Wow. I love that. And of course, and we know Alex will stay up till 2 a.m. to no, I'm kidding.
So mine's 7 p.m. Mine's not quite as bad as him, but
Yeah, not quite so bad. But no, but thank you so much. we're hoping you can hang out backstage with me so we can just have a quick chat afterwards. But Curtis, thank you and thank Bookvault so much for
thanks for having us again.
All right, and take care. Bye, everyone.